This is a podcast from the Dorchester Online Radio Company. There are some terms and conditions regarding its use. Probably. We hope you enjoy it, and if you do, maybe you would enjoy other podcasts. Welcome to the Dorchester Online Radio Company.
Hello, and welcome to the DORC podcast. I hope that rash of yours has cleared up. Oh, and hello to the person from Australia who had a listen to us last week. I've chosen the content of this week's episode because of its oddness. There is some backstory here, so I think I should fill you in. Usually we get our news, as do a lot of local radio stations, from ITN. They even provide us with the newsreaders. Basically, we pay them, and every hour we cross over to them and someone reads the news. It's pretty simple. This week, however, due to what was described as a computer glitch that our bank suffered from, our payment didn't go through, and ITN, like a large number of other companies in this country, were less than understanding and withdrew their services. I think that it reflected rather poorly on every company that didn't cut their customers a little slack, as everyone knew the problem lay with RBS and not the slightly panicked person on the end of the phone. Anyway, back to the story. They did this at very short notice, and we were a little worried about what we would do, so we sent the intern off to the newsagents at the corner to buy a paper. The only problem was, by the time they got there, Ashley had sold out of everything but the Daily Express. So what we had for the rest of the day was essentially a man reading out sections of a slightly unpleasant right-wing paper for 5 minutes every hour. Here are some highlights. Hello and welcome to the DORC News, brought to you by a single copy of the Daily Express. Absolutely nothing is like it used to be, and is therefore rubbish. Except for the Isle of Wight, which is exactly as it was in 1957. But even here, there is starting to be an evil, corrupting influence. They are growing the smelly foreign ingredient known as garlic. And lots of it as well. However, a new European law may put pay to this continental invader that infects the breath of our proud British eaters. The EEC wants to ban the term elephant garlic because it has been shown by scientists in experiments on mice that elephants definitely do not like garlic. And in another example of political correctness gone mad, they wish to ban the term hardneck garlic as it might be offensive to people who suffer from the condition hardneckitis. Why, oh why, do we allow this unelected group of people who definitely aren't from round here to tell us what to do and what to say, and to define what and what isn't offensive, when we all know that the real victims here are hard-working right-wing white Christians? So now join our crusade to keep garlic growing exactly as it is right now, here in Britain. You can sign up on our website. Madeleine McCann is still missing. The government has announced it will postpone its 3p a litre rise in fuel duty that was pencilled in for August until January next year. It will be frozen for the rest of the year, Chancellor George Osborne told MPs, adding that this would benefit families and businesses. Mr Osborne said, "We are on the side of working families and businesses, and this will fuel our recovery at this very difficult economic time for the world." Before this action was taken, Labour, the SNP, Plaid Cymru and MPs from all other parties were threatening to force a Commons vote on the issue. Also, the Sun newspaper and several Conservative MPs were pushing for a change of heart, amid concerns that prices at the pumps were squeezing living standards. This U-turn is clearly a victory for this newspaper and our crusade against high fuel prices, ours and ours alone, no one else's. A Downing Street spokesman said this issue had not been discussed at Tuesday's cabinet meeting, adding that it had been under consideration for some time. He also made it clear again that the government was on the side of hard-working families and not on the side of those who do anything other than hard work, unless their money was in various tax avoidance schemes, in which case they were on their side as well. Many of this country's leading business people, such as pornographer Richard Desmond, take advantage of perfectly legal tax avoidance schemes, such as the one used by his holding companies, Northern and Shell Group, and Portland Investment Limited, which operates out of Guernsey in the Channel Islands. As well as publishing OK Magazine and The Star, and owning Channel 5, Mr. Desmond also owns and runs the Daily and Sunday Express. Princess Diana. Never let it be said that we do not know our demographic. Scientists have created a quick test which could end the agony of millions of people crippled with arthritis. In a major breakthrough, they have found how to detect osteoarthritis even before patients begin suffering from the telltale symptoms and predict who the disease will strike. The simple procedure, which can work on just one drop of fluid from a patient's joint, offers hope of faster acting remedies and even one day wiping out this devastating degenerative condition for good. And if that doesn't work then? A breakthrough for millions of sufferers from arthritis offers hope of an early detection test which will revolutionise how this condition is treated. Scientists have found that it can be triggered by a simple bacterial change in our stomachs. This major discovery should enable doctors to make a diagnosis before the crippling disease has taken its dreadful toll, causing painful, irreversible damage to joints. As well as relief from daily agony, it raises the prospect of the misery of arthritis one day being wiped out altogether. Failing that, a revolutionary drug that costs less than £1 a day and can slow the destruction caused by arthritis is set to transform lives. This powerful treatment is already licensed and being widely used to treat the brittle bone disease osteoporosis. And now a groundbreaking trial has shown it is also a potential treatment for osteoarthritis, the most common form of arthritis which blights the lives of 8.5 million people. The drug is easy to administer. Patients take a lemon-flavoured powder dissolved in a glass of water once a day at bedtime. Or, for centuries, copper has been used in alternative medicine to relieve the pain of arthritis and joint conditions, but until recently there has been little scientific evidence to prove it actually works. Could this be about to change? Professor Albert Singer, an expert in gynecological research at the Whittington Hospital in North London, was so impressed by the ability of a pair of copper shoe insoles to alleviate the pain of his arthritis over the last 6 years, he has set up a study of 230 fellow sufferers to test them further. Maybe try this. A simple diet could end the misery of arthritis for millions of sufferers. Research has shown that a very low-calorie, high-protein diet and regular exercise is the key to staving off the crippling symptoms of this chronic disease. A relatively small weight loss can have a dramatic effect, reducing swelling, relieving pain, and even helping prevent further deterioration of the joints. Scientists in Denmark found that patients on a strict diet for 16 weeks lost dramatic amounts of weight and reported huge improvements in their pain level. The drastic diet relies on an intake of as little as 440 calories a day, compared with the recommended 2,500 for men and 2,000 for women. But rather boringly, and as it is with many other medical conditions, millions of arthritis sufferers were given fresh hope yesterday after it was revealed that simple lifestyle changes can reduce the crippling pain. Doctors claim that regular exercise, losing weight and better diet will all help to prevent or control the condition. Sport now. England have been eliminated from the Euro 2012 competition following their defeat to Italy on penalties. Many have blamed new manager Roy Hodgson's tactics and have also questioned his decision to pick the recently re-haired but perhaps not quite match-fit Shrek lookalike Wayne Rooney. Whilst many people in the country are seeing this as a major disappointment, we here at the Daily Express are seeing this as a real victory for our Get Britain Out of Europe crusade. It is only a first step, but it is a significant one. A spokesman for the Taxpayers Alliance said, "Why oh why are Britain's taxpayers spending money on this sort of thing?" He also criticised the BBC, just sort of generally and more out of habit than anything else. And so to the weather, which has been provided for us today by Julian Fictive, who works for an independent forecast company and not for that evil left-wing global warming conspiracy promoting bunch of communists that are the Met Office. Summer is finally here, with temperatures in the high 80s or low 90s Fahrenheit, a temperature scale which is the only right and proper one, as it is imperial, like Britain should be. These high readings will necessitate many pictures of women in bikinis throughout our newspapers, and launching a new series on Channel 5, Hot British Chicks on Hot British Beaches, in bikinis. As Britain basks in this tropical heatwave, it will cause a surge in the economy as a direct result of ice cream sales. It will also result in the death of thousands. These seasonably warm temperatures will definitely trigger massive tropical storms that will cause biblical flooding and damage estimated to cost many millions of pounds, roughly the same as the profits we make through the health lottery, tickets available through most newsagents, that is definitely not a national lottery, but is in fact 20-something small regional lotteries that are all run by different companies that just happen to be registered at exactly the same office. Towards the end of the week, the next ice age will begin, which will also result in the death of thousands, proving once and for all that global climate change is a hoax. Our taking back of Jerusalem would be a real victory for our crusade. That is all we have time for today, so thanks for listening. May peace be upon the blessed Princess Diana, and may the Daily Mail crumble into oblivion, destroying Paul Dacre along the way. We hope you have a great rest of day. As long as you are British.
The Daughters to Online Radio Company is written by Martin Norris, produced by Martin Norris, and recorded in the front room of a house owned by Martin Norris. Please do feel free to give us a good review on iTunes, or Twitter and Facebook your friends to tell them about us. Thank you.